Welcome to Ain't Nothing New Under the Sun. My name is Darius.
I am George.
That guy's Darius. So we had to change up our introduction song because some people on YouTube like to ding you. So I had to play my own.
If you have 5 followers on that.
Singing bowl. Alright, a shout out to some new listeners that we know are watching. All you Arizona folks. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not following COVID standards and partying and giving us more news and more fun to talk about. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about, Hector. Anna. Okay, whatever. Okay. Getting back to it, thank you for all listening to us. Today's going to be a fun episode because, we're going to talk about all the good stuff. So we're going to start off today with a little bit of the pandemic because that's pretty much what's on everyone's news. Then we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the confusion about it. You confused? Most likely you are because you keep hearing different things every day. But whatever, that guy in that suit, don't worry about that little guy. You don't need to wear a suit like that. And then we're going to get into CHAZ and all that jazz. And the thing about them is, did they take it apart? They did, but now people are protesting. Seattle had to drop the hammer. And then, I'm not even going to show you the last slide, because the last slide, we all know what the last slide is. If you woke up this morning in America or anywhere in the world that speaks or understands any language ever, or has an internet connection, you know what we're going to talk about at the end, but we're going to save the juicy stuff for the end. So, let's start it off. Boom. George, take it away.
So, as of July 1st, Dr. Anthony Fauci said the new coronavirus cases in the U.S. could hit 100,000 a day if the upward trend in some states doesn't turn around. All right, just the European Union will reopen its border more than a dozen countries, but Americans will be barred. I saw that coming. Some Republican leaders in publicity supporting face masks, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who said there should be no stigma about wearing one. California governor took away everyone's freedoms on the 4th of July. So, it's a shitty, coronavirus news. As far as, I know people, we both know people in Arizona who's technically a very free state. They just closed down gyms and nightclubs, essentially, people that are not allowed to serve food. But funny thing is about Arizona, Mountainside Fitness that is actually remaining open, which is a gym out there. Like LA Fitness and all the other ones are closed down. And that CEO threatened to, sue the governor over this shit. Because I guess it is kind of messed up. You bring all your employees back. You have to do this whole entire training thing. You don't have to take a temperature out there, which is interesting. But if you're dropping off your kids,
you don't need to take a temperature when the outside air is 118 degrees. So
yeah, your skin's gonna be
hotter anyways. And they said that heat kills the virus. Weird, right? Now something about that Mountain Fitness. He held a press meeting and a couple hours before the 8 p.m. curfew of the shutdown. Now, he did state that he actually donated, I think, $1 million to the corona relief in Arizona, and then he, had to spend a lot of money to reopen his business. He rehired everyone, brought them back. Gym members are back, people are back, staff is back, people are happy. He said he's following the actual protocol from the CDC and state government, and now they're telling him to shut down. So I understand what he's upset about. Not only has he had to pay a lot of money, but he's now actually going to lose more money, and this is killing businesses. This is killing them. Now, let me ask you something, George. You said they're going to be closing the beaches down this weekend, correct?
Yeah.
And they're taking a lot of steps. A lot of places are shutting down. There's a mask rule. Okay, so if the masks actually work, why are we shutting everything down? Now, if we have to social distance and wear masks, why is it that more mask rules have gone into effect as of recently, but the numbers keep going up, up, up. Have you thought about that?
Weird, right? No, yeah.
Well,
I was about to bring that up
this
too.
is the
It's
thing.
weird.
You can't just wear a cloth mask. Everyone keeps saying, wear a mask. It doesn't matter what it is. It just, it makes you feel better to wear a mask. Duh. Duh. Now, wearing a cloth mask does nothing. Okay? A lot of people joke around saying it's like a mosquito going right through a chain link fence. Well, an N95 mask, medical grade mask, is the only mask that's going to be able to do anything. I don't even know if that's the proper mask. Is that N95 medical grade?
Yeah, with filters on the side. Also, it's a 3M mask. It's
Okay, 3M is a
it
company.
supposedly do, but it's $100 mask.
Okay, so I don't see a lot of people wearing that. I see a
No.
lot of people wearing, that's all they're wearing. It's like a lot of people cover their face. It's pretty funny. If you told someone in 2002, because I would say after 9/11, that everyone would be covering their face in masks, people would be like, "Yeehaw, not in America!" Now, so, again, people keep getting in arguments about this. People keep fighting about this. If everyone were to be wearing the proper masks at all time, then maybe it would slow it down. But it's not slowing down because, A, most people don't really care. B, the news is lying to us. The news is telling us that the marches are actually saving lives and actually preventing the spread. But there's no social distancing, and most of them are wearing incorrect masks. Or could it be they're young people doing it, and it doesn't hit them as hard and doesn't have as much issues? But
Well, there was a statistic saying 35 and under, the big spike in like states like Texas and Arizona. That's their majority of the people that are testing positive. We also had like
but they're not dying. That's
yeah,
the
they're not
key.
dying. Exactly.
They're not
Exactly.
dying.
Yeah,
They are
and
testing
people are
positive,
literally
but
saying
not
it's a
dying.
common flu. Yeah, absolutely. And I had a couple of friends out in Orange County. They went out to a bar and like their whole house ended up getting it. There's like 4 of them, 2 nephews, their uncle and their aunt. And the 2 nephews went out and grabbed a drink at a bar in Huntington, I think. And they ended up getting it. And they were saying they got it, but it was like very minor. Like it was basically just the flu or like common flu. It was like sniffles and like
So
wasn't crazy.
look, depending on how healthy you are and what kind of underlying issues you already have, is going to be how bad it hits you. It does affect everyone different, but guess what? Peanut butter kills people sometimes, and peanut butter is delicious on my sandwiches. So obviously we're all a little different. We all have different allergies, different medical issues, different hereditary issues that our parents themselves have passed down to us through epigenetics and hereditary problems. So, if your parents have a problem with diabetes and obesity, and then they fed you whatever you want when you were a child, and now you've been obese since you were a child, well, obviously your insides aren't going to look as good. If you have high blood pressure, if you have heart problems, if you have cancer, if you have any of these issues, you're gonna get it worse, right? That's just like what kills you, AIDS or anything else. It's everything else when you have AIDS, because AIDS attacks the immune system. It's look it up. Okay, if you don't believe me, look it up. So, Freddie Mercury didn't die technically of AIDS. He died. The AIDS was the real cause, but let's be honest. Like, people keep freaking out, saying this is the worst thing ever, but it's not. If you look at the numbers, a lot of people die of everything. Okay, influenza every year kills exact same numbers that have died in America. And now again, death is bad. But if you look at who's dying, where they're dying, and why they're dying, you realize that the narrative that the news is peddling is a little incorrect. And that's a problem. The news continues to peddle disinformation, misinforming you, and making you fearful because of fear porn. Everything they do is freak you out. They make you ill themselves. The fear they peddle to you is actually making you more ill. And again, most people are unhealthy. Let's be honest with ourselves. So,
System of a Down, sensationalism. That's what it is, man. And actually, CNN has that 35-year-old that is coming on from Mesa, Arizona. How he was in the hospital about coronavirus. He took your job there. It's like he's been on it 2 days in a row, basically telling young people not to go to the bars.
I
Like, it's
saw that
nuts.
guy, and I'm
It's a
pretty.
fat dude.
Yeah, he's fat. Everyone in his family's fat. I saw his whole
Yeah.
family. His mom's like 300 pounds. I'm not trying to be rude, okay? Because this is facts. I don't give a shit. Shiza, whatever you want to say about your feelings, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. These people are unhealthy. I had to make a comment. I made a comment. I'm sorry. On Instagram, I had to make a comment. Because, again, he's not healthy, right? See this? Okay? I'm not even in that great of shape. But see how my neck goes like that? Like, when I push my beard back, I actually have a neck, okay? Okay, that's what he looks like without a beard. That's why a lot of fat guys grow beards, because it's like they hide their neck. But I actually have a neck.
Worked for me when I was fat.
And distinguished cheekbones, okay? Okay? So, look, man, you're unhealthy. Stop saying you're perfectly healthy. I'm sick and tired of the news calling people perfectly healthy. Because if that's true, I'm Hercules. Hercules, okay? I am a mythological Greek motherfucking demigod. Because I was chiseled by the gods themselves. No, look. I have some jiggle. Let's be honest. I like a little drink, okay? I like some food. I'm making carnitas. Like, I literally am marinating pork butt. That's what carnitas is. Y'all need to look it up. You make carnitas with pork butt. And I'm going to be making that tomorrow. You know why? Because I'm a goddamn American and I can be unhealthy. But I reap what I sow. I live with the repercussions and I don't blame other people for my issues. It's my problem. I caused this to myself. And guess what I do? I wake up in the morning and I exercise. Because I know I'm going to eat like a piggy. And because I need to eat like a piggy, I need to work out really hard just to be able to at least tell myself that I'm worth using it, or it's worth it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so George, next article. Because that was a little rant. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Now it's personal. The Seattle mayor moves to
No, Fox confusion reigns.
The Fox, my bad.
Statement, yeah.
Got it. Confusion reigns as state clawback coronavirus. Reopenings amid surge. At least 15 states are pausing or rolling back their coronavirus reopenings. As government officials attempt to handle a near unprecedented pandemic event that has killed more than 125,000 Americans, citizens are now facing health orders that seem to be changed by the day, as cases in many places in the U.S. surge in placing hospitals under stress and worrying officials who are tasked with keeping their constitutes safe. Apparently, also Arizona reached 89% in their hospitals. I don't know anymore, because they were showing like 89% capacity. Because then they showed this Texas hospital that said they were impacted, but like there's nobody in the background, and the nurse is like wearing the face shield, looking really scary. But like I don't know anymore, because I kind of feel this is just a game being played. And fact of the matter is, CNN did not talk about Ghislaine Maxwell at all today. It talked about more coronavirus and the continuing pandemic. Yeah. They're going to keep on pushing this shit until November. I guarantee you at this point, because this is not fair to the rest of America, and it's not fair to young people that just want to live life, because God knows you can get hit by a fucking car or get in a car accident or wake up with a tumor in your head, just like a majority of my cousins, or not majority, but one of my cousins, or take a fentanyl pill accidentally because you think it's a real Xanax. Shit happens, guys, all right?
Look, okay. Just between heart disease and cancer per year kills 10 times what COVID has killed. 10 times. If you look, there are cancer warnings when you go to Starbucks. Okay, I know now it's all like the masks and this and that, but if you look at all the warnings, there is a warning about this may cause cancer. They don't care that it causes cancer anymore. Cigarettes and all that jazz, no one cares. They just have to warn you. They're not going to stop them when it's a direct thing that causes cancer. Tobacco usage causes cancer. McDonald's causes cancer, heart disease, cholesterol, high blood pressure, everything. It leads to heart disease and whatnot, but it's not good for you, right? And so they don't have to stop selling it. All they have to do is tell you, you're probably going to die one day, but enjoy that 99 cent. Hey, the McRib's back. The McRib back. Is it back? Actually, I don't know. I've been to McDonald's in a while. Is it back? Everyone, you have to get one McRib a year. This is not a sponsor, but
it's trash.
It is trash.
It's just like once you get that, it's just like, oh my god, this is fucking disgusting. Throw this shit out.
You could literally pick a McRib out of the trash, and it will taste identical to when you grabbed it from the window. Fact. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Going back. Sure. Now look at people. 1. We are testing more. Even the South Korean official, but the news lied and said, "Oh, Trump, hey, didn't we? South Korea is testing per capita more." And then they're like, the head of CDC is like, let me get that number real quick. You guys do 11 per thousand, and we're doing 17 per thousand. And not only that, so I like how people like to go to like per capita, right? It's like, just because China, like for instance, give China a number, right? There's over 1 billion people. They have they have about 3 times the amount of people we have.
Mm-hmm.
So if they kill 3 times less than we kill, it's still more people they would kill, right? Think about it, right? But the number's higher, but the per capita is different, right? So when the number doesn't look good, so South Korea's number, they have a lot smaller population, they have way less tests, so they're saying, hey, per capita, we did more. And that was false. That was false, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't always matter per capita. It matters how many at the end. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we have 17 out of 1,000, but we also have had 30 million tests almost administered. So more you test, more people are going to find out. Now, I'm not going to say who, but someone I know told me that their company in Houston, they had to test 30% of their staff. 20% had the antibodies. That means they already had it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know it. A lot of people probably had it already and didn't know it. Or they thought it was like a cold. Again, why is it called 19? COVID-19? Because it's 2019. That's why. So it's been here since 2019. So obviously people have been getting it. It is mutating. There are some very strange things about this, especially how it attacks and who it attacks and how it spreads. And, but at the end of the day, if you're unhealthy and or an elderly person, you're at risk. And if you're at risk, quarantine yourself. Tell your family to not be around. Tell your family to F off. Be smart. Don't be a como. Don't get your nipples hard when you send elderly that have COVID-19 to the nursing homes. Because you're going to kill old people. They thought. Let me tell you something, okay? Everyone's so mad at Trump. Trump's not a doctor. Why the hell you listen to Trump? He's the president. He's not a doctor. He doesn't do research. He doesn't have a PhD. He doesn't have a PhD in biology. He's a real estate guy. A real estate tycoon, a billionaire philanthropist, and a popular guy that won a popular competition. That's all the presidency is a popularity contest. So a popular guy is running our country. So that's why you have to hire actual professionals around you to run things. And at the end of the day, he says, okay, that sounds good. That doesn't sound good because that's in the interest. A politician is supposed to, right? We're a democratic republic. Do you not know what a democratic republic is? A republic is when officials essentially make laws, pass laws. A democracy is when people vote on laws and vote on things. We are combined. We vote on politicians and we vote on certain laws and propositions. The politicians set forth laws and propositions and acts and amendments. Do I have to send you all to Schoolhouse Rocks again? So if you're really mad at the president, when he hired doctors and professionals, very smart people, to run task force. And then you're mad at a real estate tycoon to not make the right decision. And then at the end of the day, you need to make the right decision. You're an adult. You need to take self-accountability, and you need to make the right decision. Do you know why every president has aged so fucking bad except, well, one president didn't age, but we all know why. JFK. Just saying. He didn't age because they killed him. But most presidents age pretty fast. You know why? Because they have the whole stress. Imagine they have to have safety nets in China at Nike factories because people jump out the fucking window.
At Apple factories, too.
At Apple factories, Nike factories, right? The phone you're on might have blood on it. The ring you have with the blood diamond on there that has blood on it, right? So, also the nickel in batteries for like electric cars and lithium ion batteries.
Africa.
That's made in that's mined in Africa. Yeah. Okay. Just throwing that out there. So going back to the COVID shit. Take self-accountability. Do the right thing. Wash your hands. Wear a mask if needed. Wear the proper mask if you have to. If you should. If you're sick, stay home. Don't even wear a mask. I don't even know why you're going out. If you're coughing, right? How many people don't know anybody that can help them? There's Uber Eats, Uber Delivery. Then you can get anything you want.
Contactless delivering, yeah.
Amazon. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you're that sick, don't go outside. Quarantine yourself. Because the argument is, it goes from, if you're wearing a mask, it should bring you down. And if you're sick, you should be wearing a mask. Why are you in public if you're sick? Before COVID-19, if you work in the restaurant industry and you had the flu and you're coughing, they're supposed to send you home. If you have a cold or flu.
Going back into that, Darius, real quick. How many times have you gotten the flu or a cold from someone else that was working, that you just got it and it lasted a couple days and you called off and you went back to work the next few days after that?
All the time.
Exactly.
Candace.
I was telling my sister
Candace coughed every day. She had the whiffle cough.
Yeah.
It was like...
I was literally like telling my sister this today. I was just like, this is going to happen. Like, fact of the matter is, people need to create antibodies to kill this, whatever the hell this is at this point. Like, and I kind of feel the masks are making people sicker also, because I wear that training mask to the gym, and it's plastic, so I can wipe the whatever spit that comes out of my mouth when I'm like breathing heavily. But dude, people at the gym right now are wearing that cloth mask or wearing that fucking like disgusting blue one that obviously does not, like, it absorbs bacteria.
This is what happens.
And people are just fucking getting sick on that. Like, that's my opinion.
N95 and most of those medical grade masks are one-time use. One and done. Now, I'm not saying put it on, go to the store, and then when you leave the store, throw it in the trash. I'm saying, like, use it for the day, which might be too much. But if you're coughing,
I think so. For that many hours?
I'm not saying, look, if you're wearing it while driving, might as well blindfold yourself, drive, and just hit the gas, please. Hit the gas. You're going to be a COVID death anyways. Just hit the goddamn gas. Be a fucking help the news. So, crashing yourself into the wall. Okay? You know what? Next time you're in the bath, throw the toaster in. Do I have to tell you you can't put electronics in water?
Throw the hairdryer in.
All right, so stop driving around with masks on because you look... Well, at least you're telling us you're stupid. Thank you. But yeah, so obviously you're coughing into the mask. You're using it over too much. How many of these people most of the people just leave their mask hanging in their car. And they continue to use it. And use it. And use it, right?
Yeah. It's nasty, dude. Like, that can't be safe, man.
And also, here's something that I haven't heard anyone argue, right? So say you are wearing an N95 mask, but you keep reusing it. What does it do to it? Bacteria builds up. Do you know how much bacteria you have in your mouth?
I mean, people die from things in your mouth.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But let me tell you something about Arizona. It is the STD capital of the world.
I mean, ASU,
It is.
U of A.
So if
Yeah.
people, it's a lot easier to not get an STD than it is to get COVID. That's a proven fact already. So I can literally skip an STD by drinking one less drink and not having sex with that fat chick, or I could just put a condom on. So why do you think they're gonna take this serious? This weekend, multiple people I know posted about parties they threw, or music videos they were in, or pool parties they were at, or bars they went. They went from working at a bar that was open still, definition, very definition. They don't care about anybody's health or whatever. And then they threw a party. Someone else I knew, I don't know if she wasn't quite. I don't know. I'm not too sure if it was like a pool party or like a music video. People were throwing cash and $1 bills into the pool. The frugal person in me is like, $1 bills are still $1 bills. It's like, I always wondered, would people throw like hundreds? Because I know these were ones. But if you're throwing hundreds into the pool, does someone like fish those up and be like, hold on, let me go dry this when the camera's off? Like, you know,
they threw it in the dryer real quick.
No, not to dry it. Or put it in a pillow when you dry it. Help you kids out. If you're trying to make cash or you're trying to, dry your cash, put it in a pillow. All right. So, look, states are trying to reopen. People are losing their business. Obviously, you Google right now Bill Maher talking about him wanting the economy to crash. Rachel Maddow wanting the economy to crash. Literally just yesterday, she was saying that we were going to have no jobs left. And here's a fun fact, everyone. They keep saying, oh my God, not everyone is going back to work. That's not fair. They can't go back to work. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people that don't want to go back to work yet. It's not racist or rude to say that there are people out there which are white, black, Arab, Asian, Hispanic, I don't care what you are, that are like, man, I make minimum wage. And I'm making $800 a week. That's more than minimum wage, just to let you know. So $600 incentive on top of whatever your state is, that's a lot of money. People in California, I know, are making $1,000 a week. That's $4,000 a month plus.
Just chilling at home.
Chilling at home, and then probably doing a job under the table. So what incentive do they have to go back? So obviously, some people that have insurance that needs insurance, they have family, or they make more than that money are going to go back to work. But then there's a lot of people that make less than that money. So they have no incentive to go back to work. So that is not a wrong
You have to
statement.
wear you have to wear a hazmat suit when you're being a dishwasher right now too. I'm not sure if you heard it. Like, they're fucking like, especially in LA. Oh yeah, like dishwashers pretty much have to be in a hazmat suit, dude.
Dude, if I was a
like
dishwasher,
with this mask, bro.
Dude, if I were a dishwasher, I'd be like, hey, I have like experience working with hazmat suits, and get like a really good job or something. Like, hey, I technically have experience working with hazmat suits. Look, okay, so we could keep harping on this, like the news does, because that's they make money again. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate this. They make money off of your fear, pain, and anxiety. So, more bad there is, better it is. And also, I want you all to look up who and how many people that are politicians are married or family members of people in the media. It's going to mess you up because it's a lot. And it's too many. Bit. It's too many. It's wrong. Yeah. It's asinine, and it's not cool. It's not kosher, right? Project Mockingbird, that's another one you can look up if you like, is pretty insane. But let's go on to the next one. This is not old news. This is somewhat...
Still reoccurring?
Still reoccurring. They're trying to bring it back, but George, take it away.
Seattle mayor moves to dismantle CHOP after protesters show up at her house. And the 2 kids that fucking died.
Yeah. So... multiple people have died now. More than multiple people have been shot. There has been a mass amount of phone calls for rape sodomy, assaults, and other things that were not filmed, and you were not lucky enough to see. Or hear on the phone, because it would have been pretty bad. Imagine you answering the phone call saying, "Help me, please. You're hurting me. Mister's hurting me."
It's the summer of love, dude.
And you're just like
it's love.
You're in CHOP? Call back later. It's like, "Oh, sorry, you're not an American citizen. Click." Look, people suck. People are no damn good. And a lot of times people have good intentions. But, the road to hell is paved through good intentions.
Good intentions, yes, sir.
So, just because your intentions are good doesn't mean your outcome is good, right? Just because you think you're doing right doesn't mean the end is right. The reason why democracy works is because you can change it. At the end of the day, you have opportunities to change it, and you have opportunities to change things. So in a capitalistic republic, in a capitalistic democratic republic, as we do have, which is somewhat crony capitalism, but whatever, we can argue all day about that. We still have the right to try to change it. We still have the right to do things like chop and complain and to protest. And you all, Generation Z thinks they're the only ones that protest. You all think you're punk rock? Punk rock's been around. Protests have been around. Every year there's been a protest. It's funny because I have a family member that was telling me today, "Oh man, so weird. I remember protesting Bush. And now I'm a Republican." And I'm like, damn, right? What changed? Oh, I have a family and a home, and I've just became fiscally, conservative, because that's what people happen. You're young, and you have less, and you don't own anything. You want something, and you feel that no one's going to give it to you. And then once you have something, you're older, and you have a family, you realize that's something I need to hold on to protect. So, the mayor, first of all, CHAZ, whatever you want to call it, started with them trying to remove the mayor. They went to the Capitol to tell her to resign. Then they decided to occupy said Capitol and 6 blocks of the precinct, right? So it's funny that it also ends at her house. So I don't know what this B word, maybe even a C word, kooky person, doesn't understand that she's the problem. She's just as much the problem as the protesters. Because again, they actually had the right to tell her to leave. She doesn't leave. They end up occupying. They become foolish, and again, good means become bad. And it goes full circle and ends up at her house. And now they are disbanding CHAZ, whatever you want to call it. But people are not protesting. People are trying to bring it back. People are fighting with the police. The police are beating them down. The police are, pepper spraying people. Hey, you know what? At least they're not being put into trains like in China with a new Hong Kong law that makes it legal to actually send them to re-education camps. It's funny too because one of the Bernie Bros
or Nike camps.
Yeah, right. But my fingers hurt. Now your back's gonna hurt. You just pulled landscaping duty. So, fun fact. You know how everyone's complaining about re-education camps and all that jazz, and Trump's the Nazi, and they're fascist bad people, and they're gonna kill us. Look up Project Veritas. There's an episode or a clip of one of Bernie's campaign, one of his campaign managers, not the candidate of them, but of a region, was talking about re-education camps, and if Bernie wins, we're gonna have new age gulags. That's a fucking fact. You can look it up right now. Go look it up. Right, so re-education,
it worked well with the Nazis, I guess.
Yeah, and Mao.
Just kidding.
Look at General Mao. See, General Mao's we didn't re-educate them, we just educated them. Sometimes you don't have to re-educate people if you educate them, right? Take that how you want.
They do still do that in China. They do that any communist country or socialist country. I think they have they dip their toe in that type of thing, right?
Yeah, because You have to be told to be happy. Did I say concentration camps? I meant happy camps. So look at, okay, this is an issue that CHOP people are still crying about it. People are still trying to fight. Yes, tear it down. Tear it down. Because guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let me tell you, where do you have the same opportunities in the world right now? Like, I wish someone tried to do this in China. Because I want to see what they would do.
I mean, look what they're doing right now in Hong Kong. They're arresting people under their new national law.
Yeah, they were arresting them
protesting
before, but now it's legal. And it's like, look, there's what regular media shows you, and then there's the alternative media. I'm not saying alt-right media, so calm down. I'm saying alternative media. That I've seen some stuff that happened to China that was not kosher. And how they kept their numbers down, what they did, who they sent away on trains.
The welding of doors.
Yeah, so, again, it's not... And they also, by the way, control their internet. Big tech controls our internet, right? So, like, us being on here. But big tech helps China control their internet. So, like, Google helps China control their own internet. And they actually control everything you say, do, put, post, and see. So, we still have some freedoms. Some. Not a lot, but some. More than most. And you people, yes, you Chazwinian, Chopinians, Chop numbskulls, are trying to make an authoritarian state. You are. And that's really what, so what they're trying to do is the media is trying to fear people into anger. And then they're trying to get people to make more of these, right? More of these. And revolt against the government, causing the government to crack down. And if the government cracks down, they could say, look, they're a fascist, authoritarian government. We have now excuses against their cracking down. But then when people actually bring up the real problems and the real issues, they are silent. Silent. Let's be honest with each other. The Democrats don't care about having a master. They just want the right masters. And Trump is not the right master. Biden, to them, is the right master because his masters. Okay? He has people that are pulling the strings. He has people that are telling him.
He can be manipulated.
Okay? Bought, manipulated, and moved. Right? Mm-hmm. And that is the game of the rich. That is the game of the elite. And do you know how they do it? This is about to lead into our next slide. They do honeypots. Do you know what a honeypot is? So a honeypot, real quick, before we kind of get into this. Sorry, I keep like getting it wrong, you know? It's like, I like to dance. I just want to dance. Like, fuck guys, I just want to dance. Okay, so a honeypot is something that that's what Obama's CIA. Mom was. So the CIA created a honeypot. It's where you get a really fine, smart woman. The Russians did Red Sparrows, and what they do is
Mossad does honeypot too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How do you say it in Israeli? I'm just kidding. I thought it's called honey shots, or no, gunshots. My bad. So going back, look, honeypotting is essentially you get a PYT. And you seduce somebody and you get information out of them, right? They always say the person you're sleeping next to has the most dirt on you. That's why Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton never sleep in the same bed, never sleep in the same hotel, and sleep with other people. So, power couples, right? They're crazy. Now, we all know who Jeffrey Epstein is, and if you don't, then get off this channel. Why are you listening to us? Jesus Christ. Jeffrey Epstein is a philanthropist that rose to power. He dated a woman named Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell's father was a British tycoon in like a newspaper tycoon, right? That had ties to Mossad, right? Mossad, if you want to look it up, is the Israeli Special Intelligence and Forces, right? Like our CIA.
The CIA.
We just have more sections of type of that. They have one overall, right? And so he was a billionaire. He got Jeffrey Epstein his start. Now, Jeffrey Epstein, after Maxwell's father, just in the early 90s, says, you know what, man? I'm a billionaire. I got yachts. I'm one of the most influential people in the world. I can't take this anymore. I'm going to jump off my yacht in the middle of the ocean. That is literally the official narrative of his suicide. Look into it. So he just decides to kill himself, owning the world. And guess who takes over of the mantle? Ghislaine, Jizzy, for short, as like George likes to call her, Miss Jizz. She takes over. Her and her boyfriend, who is Jeffrey Epstein. So there's a lot of arguments. First of all, let's give you a little bit of background. So essentially what they started doing is they created a blackmail honeypot sex ring. So there are two parts to this. You have the rich man who gets to know everyone. He's a philanthropist. He rubs elbows with everyone. Now, let's be honest. He has a picture with anybody who's famous. And a lot of them have used is Lolita Express, which is a plane. Now, he ended up having his own personal island. He bought an island. He has yachts. His yacht's name's Giselle, yada yada. He actually they tried to indict him a few years back on sex trafficking of underage women. It didn't stick. He got to walk, like most rich people do. Again, under this administration, it does stick this time. They go to court, and he kills himself. He gets Jeffrey Epstein, and it goes quiet for months. And this lady disappears. She has a few pictures here and there, a few ridiculous, I'm eating In-N-Out, hee hee.
With the books talking about CIA, fucking, god damn it, people that tell secrets on the CIA.
Yeah, so
like what it's called.
Yeah. So, obviously, the she posed for bullshit pictures. No one knew where she was. She was pretty much Mrs. Waldo. Where's Waldo? Where was Ghislaine Maxwell? Everyone's trying to find her. They don't know what happened. Some people said she died. Some people said she fled to Israel. Some said England. Some said she was on her yacht going around the world. Nobody knew. She was in New Hampshire, of all places. I don't know why. I think maybe because she has like a white Karen look. And there's a lot of just those white women out there. It's very white in New Hampshire. It's cold. White. And I think they don't have state taxes. So, why wouldn't you want to live there? Just kidding. Calm down, people. So, breaking news, she's arrested. The FBI raid where she's living and pull her in and they're going to bring her to justice, we hope. Now, why is this important? Well, obviously, she might actually be more powerful than Jeffrey Epstein. So a lot of people thought Jeffrey Epstein was the mastermind and is very high ranking in the elite world. But they found out that Jeffrey Epstein was more of a middleman. Jeffrey Epstein, his whole job is to take powerful people, take them to parties, get them liquored up, get them whatever exotic interests they have, most likely or not, pedophilia, or at least underage people, around 13 or less. Let's be honest, it's disgusting. They're fucking creeps. They're evil people. But his job is you get them together, have sex on camera or committing illegal acts, and then after that, they have dirt on you. That's the whole point. So now you owe them a favor. So they got you what you wanted, but they also have dirt on you. Just like the reason why the Comey, a little sidetrack, the same thing that Comey did, right? So when Obama with Biden and Suzanne Rice in the room said that they wanted them to continue to go after Flynn, even though they already said he was exonerated and they had nothing they can get on him, and go and wiretap Trump, get more FISA reports. Why do you think Comey picked Lisa Page? Because she was having an affair with her counterpart. So they picked two people that were having an affair with each other that don't like Trump. So guess what? It's a win-win, right? So if they get to impeach Trump, they get something they like. If they mess up, well, we have dirt on you, and we can make that public knowledge because we know you're having an affair, and you don't want people to know you're having an affair, right? So guess what? The world, two things happened the opposite. One, Trump won, and two, everyone found out about the affair. So that's the same idea. That's what our deep state likes to do. They get dirt on people, and then they use that as leverage. Now, what did Giselle do? Or Ghislaine. Well, she did something a little bit more nefarious. She didn't get the rich men and the rich women. She got the children. She got the young women and young boys, because they keep saying young women. Dude. They keep saying young women, but we know that they murdered the young boys after raping them, so they're off the table. They don't have witnesses. At least some of the young girls got away or were able to tell their story. Most of the young boys are probably strung up or under the island somewhere in some mass grave. Or they're using them for adrenochrome. So, anyway, also, side note, has anyone noticed how many elites and very rich people look really bad lately? And everyone's like, oh, they don't have their makeup artist. There's YouTube stars that make millions off telling you how to do your own makeup. So either you're that arrogant to not do your own makeup, or you're lacking in adrenochrome. Only though, we may never know. How many licks does it take to get to the center of adrenochrome? Ask Joe Biden. So, look, this woman has ties to Mossad. Her father is super powerful, mysteriously suicided himself, just like Epstein. She's very powerful. Some say more powerful than Epstein, even though she was downplayed for a long time. Because she wants that. If you're the real power, you don't want to be the face, right? The face is never the real power. It's the people pulling the strings. So she was Jeffrey Epstein's handler. She controlled him. She was above him, and more powerful than him. And she hid behind the fact that everyone knew who he was. And she knew everybody. Actually, in fact, she was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. There's a photo of her. She got roadside. She got in row. That's important, because you're in the pictures. If you are in the row towards the aisle row, you're in aisle row seating. I've never even had that, okay, in my own family's weddings, okay? So that's powerful, because you're going to be in the pictures, and you see her little stupid bob haircut, looking out. The same hair. I actually have the same haircut. That's why I'm hiding my hair, because I don't want people to think I'm her. Just worth the beat. So she is not a good person. But it's important that we have her. Why? Because we need her to fill in the blanks that we never were able to fill in with Jeffrey Epstein, because two things happened with Jeffrey Epstein. George, do you know what those two things are?
He got killed.
One, very important.
Yeah.
Two, all the information he already gave is under lock and key. And guess what just happened to that in the same day she got arrested?
Shredder?
Yes. The judge, who needs to go to jail. They need to take her to Gitmo. I want Dick Cheney to show her how to wear a mask like he used to, a lot of Arab.
Waterboard that motherfucker.
Yeah, to find out what was in there. And I need the FBI, which most are compromised, and most of this deep state are compromised. But again, let me tell you something about the deep state. The deep state isn't technically the CIA as a whole or FBI as a whole. It is implanted figureheads in key positions. So that's why Snowden wasn't the deep state, because Snowden was just somebody working for the deep state, the NSA, CIA, and what have you, right? And he realized what they were doing was nefarious, because most just follow orders, do what they do because they think they're doing the right thing, right? So you have people in the media, in the deep state, CIA, whatever, what have you, right, that do follow orders and do what they are told to do because they think it's the right thing to do. Then you have people telling them. The ones that are telling them are the ones that are actually pulling the strings, that are the deep state and the nefarious ones. And they know that people become blinded by what they believe is right. And if you're blinded by what you think is right and blinded by a bigger picture, and need to know. And again, the government's very compartmentalized. It's what is need to know basis, right? That's how our government works. Need to know. It's a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because there's not a lot of leaks. There's not a lot of interference to, foreign governments can't actually get all the information of ours. It's bad because if one department knows something but they can't transfer that to another department, we get attacks on our soil, we get soldiers killed, we get intel problems because they can't always communicate perfectly with each other because it's need to know. And if you're not need to know, then you don't get to know. So that's a good and bad thing, but that's how our government works, especially the deep state. So they know that's how it works, so that's how they use it against us, right? So, gotten this huge old thing, but getting back to it, she needs to know everything. She knows a lot of things, right? And you can it's public knowledge who's been on the Lolita Express.
Exactly.
Okay?
I posted the list today on my Instagram.
Yeah, Anonymous didn't leak that. That's been there. Anonymous is a hoax, by the way, and not the new Anonymous is fake.
They're so infiltrated, it's not even funny.
Okay, they're bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. They keep posting public knowledge that everyone already knows, and they're saying we're hacking people, hacker man.
Exactly. I'm just like, really? Like, fuck you. Like,
what? You looked at some Wikipedia posts and articles from 3 years ago, and you know that there's social amnesia, and half these dumbass kids that are 18 to 19, 20 years old, don't even remember 2015? All right, that sounds great to me. That's how they're using against you. We grew up.
They're trying to get this new generation of TikTokers. That's why.
So this is huge though, because it is also fearful of mine because she could cut a deal with the FBI, rat out specific people, link certain people, and get them arrested, and the big ones get to go home. But that's a problem. Here's another problem. We need, going back to, I know I got that full circle, that all jumbled all over the place, but we need either the FBI or the DOJ, fucking William Barr, the AG needs to go tell that judge, you give me everything that you said you're going to shred, or you go to jail. Gitmo. You need to give us everything because she, again, has accomplices with this lady. So hopefully she gives up that judge as an accomplice because that judge is literally withholding information and destroying information that's pertinent to this case and the safety of our world, national security, and our government, because honestly, they have so much dirt on the elites and all these people, all these scum buckets that were on Lolita Express. Okay? Bill Clinton was on there 27 times that we know about. 27 times.
Now we know
it was
about.
Such a problem that he actually lied multiple times to the Secret Service and didn't tell them that he was taking the Lolita Express. And they actually stressed concerns to him, saying that they can't do that. You can't just go on a vacation. And we all remember in 2016 when his former Secret Service security officer pretty much spilled the beans about how it was known that he was a cheater. They had codes and they had briefings about Hillary Clinton being so volatile and so angry that if he was having a visitor, they would have to warn him somehow. He said luckily he was never on the shift that happened, but that was always something that they had to talk to each other about. And that Hillary Clinton didn't sleep not only in the same bed or the same hotel room, but not even the same hotel half the time. And they would say, oh, it's for national security. No, it's not. That's the vice president.
It's a sham. It's a sham.
It's a power couple. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So BBC accidentally put out a article about Ghislaine Maxwell moved to intensive care as coronavirus was worsened, and they immediately took it off after a couple minutes, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I already called this. George, you know I called this today. I said she's going to get COVID, and they're going to either kill her with COVID, or they're going to say, we have to postpone this, and they're going to keep postponing, and then something's going to happen. Something big. But COVID is going to be the key to stopping her from giving all the information that we didn't know. Yeah,
I'm like the CIA director, Brennan, I think it was Brennan was saying, like, yeah, I'll show up to court, but when there's a vaccine for COVID-19. I'm like, really, bro? He literally said this on CNN, Darius.
No, I know he did. He's a
Yeah.
scumbag. Brandon was an ex-head of the CIA. That is a literal scumbag.
He
That
literally said he lied to everyone saying the CIA doesn't look at people's information. Or he lied to the Senate, I believe. Yeah.
So did Facebook. Look it.
Yeah.
Did you hear what happened to Facebook recently? Project Veritas, dude. This guy, the guys at the Project Veritas are gonna get suicided any day now. But
they're coming up hot. Yeah,
they
for sure.
proved that Mark Zuckerberg lied to the Senate. And I've been telling people, look, watch George Carlin. I grew up with George Carlin. I know George grew up with George Carlin. You gotta watch George Carlin, because he called it already. He has a bit about swearing on the Bible. Oh, I swear, and nothing but the truth, I swear God. And it's like, he doesn't believe in God. And then a lot of these cult, Saturn-worshipping, Luciferian fools either don't believe in God, or don't believe in your God. So, what is their incentive to be honest? Like, unless you have pretty crazy dirt on them, but they always argue against it, try to falsify against it anyways, and they lie. So, what does that mean? And then Facebook hides behind, well, our policies state. Well, there's a difference between no knowledge and policy. So, no knowledge is what everyone does, right? For instance, I've worked in restaurants. There's policies that you have to follow. But then there's kind of unspoken, what you're supposed to do, different procedures that aren't OSHA approved policies. George was a bartender. That's the same shit. There's a lot of unspoken corner cutting. So obviously, for Facebook, that's how they hide. It's called CYA, cover your ass. You're going to learn about it one day, kids. Kids, you'll learn about it one day. So, cover your ass is what it's called. So you create policies and fire people, even though you know it's common knowledge that people are doing it. You know that you hired a certain bias in certain people and allowed these people to block, withhold information, and whatever, what have you, because of certain ideals. Alter information, alter post, delete post, shadow ban people because they don't follow their narrative. So if 99% of your company believes in shadow banning and deleting right-wing posts, and 99% of them vote Democrat, that means your policies might say that you're not biased, but your staff is biased, right? It's the same with like Fox News, right? If Fox News owned Facebook, 99 of Fox News vote Republican. 99 lean Republican. So obviously, if Fox News ran Facebook, they would be doing the same thing to Democrats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. Because your policy, CYA, oh, we have training seminars. I have never met anybody who took training seriously. Or if they take trainings that seriously, they don't go anywhere. People who take that stuff seriously are dimwits.
I mean, I bartended a lot of teaching seminars when I worked at the Hyatt, and a lot of these teachers just grab their drinks, stay for 5 minutes, and leave the room when it comes to like re-educating their students or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that's why I had like shitty fucking teachers. Like these guys just got real like drunk real quick or got their free drink from the bar and bounced.
No. Marriott created a new teaching seminar about 3 months before COVID hit, and it was about Bob and how if you're white, you essentially do everything wrong. You should have heard what every race and creed and type of person was saying about this training. It was HR would their heads would spin, right? Because hey, HR, do you know what guests say to you in your face? Do you know what guests do to you? Do you know the mental gymnastics you have to go through to be berated like they do every single day? So obviously, the person serving you has to be a little bit more mentally tough than the HR that wrote that fucking script and created that video, because that video is nonsensical bullshit. Okay? But let's get back to this, because I could talk all day about Marriott. I hate them. We're going to have an episode soon. If you work at Marriott and you got certain letters, I would like to talk to you. Reach out to me, because I have some issues with them, and we need to write some letters that you'd be really interested in, too. All right.
Say your Twitter and your Instagram real quick about that, or at the end.
If you know me, you know me. Like, most of you know me. If you worked at the Phoenician and you know me, contact me. We need to talk. So, okay, going back to Maxwell. Maxwell, okay, I'm sick that it says alleged, right? If the news is allowed to say certain people, politicians, whatever, what have you, and don't use the word alleged, cops, without saying alleged, we need to say this bitch did not allege, because she obviously did. And she has the dirt.
There's a Netflix movie about this shit. I hate Netflix.
No, look at the Netflix movie doesn't even scratch the real surface. It's trash.
It's trash.
The Netflix movie is trash. It is too swayed. They knew this was going to happen. What happens is people in Netflix are like, oh, this might happen one day soon because we had a leak and we heard some intel. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create this documentary that's bullshit that doesn't even scratch the real surface, that what we really care about, because I don't give a fuck about some of the bullshit. If you're a pedophile, that's what I care about. If you're luring 13-year-old girls a promise of vanity and a future, that's what I have a problem about. If you are peddling adrenochrome, I have a problem with that. If you are doing any it's evil fucking shit. Now, if it was like an island full of 30-year-old, 21-year-old to 30-year-old chicks that got everything paid for, if it's like Dan Bazarian's Funland, all right, I'm not mad at Dan Bazarian, okay, because Dan pays them, and they're adults, and they're over 21, and he pays them. So not only do they get to drink, eat, and do whatever they fucking want with the most expensive stuff on earth, but they get paid. Make that money, girl. I ain't mad. Okay, if we had our own red light district in America, like Amsterdam, I wouldn't really be mad. Why? Because honestly, some people just don't have certain options. Some people like to fuck. We have a porn industry. Why not have an escort industry, right? But whatever, what have you. Because guess what? At the end of the day, a lot of these politicians that hate gays and hate the, prostitution are like tapping their feet in stalls to get fucking glory holes. So let's calm down. A fact. If you point the finger the hardest, you're probably doing it. I'm not pointing. Yeah. I need to stop pointing fingers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Victim's attorney Lisa Bloom says that Ghislaine Maxwell could reveal a bigger name involved in Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile network in order to secure a plea deal. She's also going to be possibly in the same MCC jail in New York, where the same jail where Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Oh, look, if I ever get arrested, feds, you gonna arrest me for whatever, what have you, or Biden gets mad and starts arresting truth community people if he wins, take me to that place. Because they're obviously either you're getting killed or they're letting you escape and they're saying you're getting suicided. So
Jeffrey Epstein also said he was gonna involve names for a plea deal, then he got killed.
Yeah. So here's a name that everyone wants to talk to. Prince Andrew. Now, I had a discussion with George today about this. A few things I have to say about this. So one, he has diplomatic immunity, right? Not only is he a royal, but he's a diplomat. Well, look up the new king of England. The new king. Joseph Gregory
Hallett.
He says that he is the true heir to the king and the throne. And it's like some Game of Thrones shit. Look it up. It's crazy. And that Elizabeth's family and Charles' family are essentially bastards. And that they're not royalty. And they don't have any claim. And this year alone, he will sit on the throne. Why is that important? Well, if Prince Andrew, they find out that he is not a true royal and renounces his royalty and his princehood and his diplomatic immunity, cha-ching, we can arrest him and we can bring him here and we can extradite him and we can put him in court for the evil things. Just, you want to see something crazy? Look up Jeffrey Epstein visiting Prince Andrew in like I think in the last 5 years.
I mean, they went to the last wedding.
Yeah, he went to the royal wedding. All right, yeah, even better. Look at what Jeffrey Epstein is wearing at the wedding. I'll give him that. It's a pretty awesome outfit. It's something you don't see every day. It's very like, I am now a self-made royalty. Look it up. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, that's like an outfit from like 1920s.
Yeah, or like Nazi Hugo Boss wearing shit.
No, it's like old English, man. It's like long. It's not even Hugo Boss, my man. Look that shit up. It's crazy. It's a top hat. It's something that like Dumb and Dumber would have worn. So.
Oh, I thought it was like a fucking military suit. My bad.
No, dude, he wore.
I looked at the wrong picture.
He wore like this big top hat with like the long talons in the back. Dude, look it up. He looks like he's like a Disney character. It's hilarious. But this fool, and I'm talking not about Prince Andrew, I'm talking about Epstein, what Epstein wore. This fool, like, okay, so that means that could be the reason why the prince left with Kate, his new gal, and now she's a Disney princess because she's not a real princess. That could mean...
Oh, this is weird. Why it doesn't even show up on fucking Instagram or on Google, those pictures.
Weird. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I've seen them too.
Unless there's a glitch in the Matrix, this is a problem. Obviously, Google is filtering things. Maybe someone in Google's afraid. So, we need to find out who these people are. And we already have a list of people that did this. So 2 things need to happen, right? So one of our wish lists came true. So, hold on. God damn it. Clap, George. Sorry, I used a little clapping. You just couldn't hear it. So, one of our wish lists just came true. Maxwell's arrested. Next wish list. Free Julian Assange. Free him. And another wish list I have, because this is Christmas in July, is arrest and find out that information about that judge with Epstein.
Can I add one more wish?
Yes.
Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Oh, yeah. But that's good. That's all tied. Dude, this is all tied.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
I said this on the last episode. I'm going to keep saying this every episode. I love it. How many coincidences does it take to be mathematically impossible? Seriously, how many? How many times? How, you can't believe in this many coincidences. This just doesn't happen. Okay? This is not some just random person. And then the media likes to downplay these people. No. These people are sick, nefarious monsters. From Hollywood to the media to the federal government. Now, I will say, some could just bump elbows. They like to rub elbows with rich people because they think it's going to benefit their career, but they never actually did the bad things to get on camera and tape. Okay, there are probably a good amount of celebrities, politicians, and powerful people, but that's not their job. So if you continue to go there more than once, they have dirt on you, and we need that. All the computers that disappeared. Okay, there was a drone that the day after Epstein got arrested, someone took a drone to his island and filmed. Then that same artist, I'm going to call him an artist, okay, did the same thing when the FBI raided. There was stuff missing already when the FBI got there. Computers. Just like the laptop. Okay, so obviously there's evidence that we need to get a hold of. That you should not have the right as a judge to try to get rid of. Okay, that should be illegal, especially if it's pertinent to this investigation. And it has to do with this investigation. Read. Jeffrey Epstein's associate. Arrested on federal charges. Maxwell charged with... But can you read? They were felicitating...
This is the Wall Street Journal, dude.
Epstein's alleged sexual exploitation of minors and abuse. Look, that means everything in the Epstein case has to do with this case. So that judge getting rid of information, she should go to jail. Or at least be on trial. Minimum.
I don't know. maybe I'm not like legal term, but isn't this like treason at some point? Like,
Oh, our government,
or
everyone keeps roundabout in treason, my man. From JFK to now, not JFK committing treason.
oh yeah, 1963 we lost our government, we lost everything, dude. Like that's my general belief. Like as far as this shit, yeah. I mean,
Look,
blurt it out.
Yeah, look, we are in an information war right now.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, we still have an internet that's
Somewhat free.
Some leniency to it.
Mm-hmm.
Not completely free, but has some leniency where we can get the truth out. It is filtered out most of the time, especially at Google, because you pay to play on Google, so they can pay more. So even if Google doesn't directly change it, someone can pay more ads. Pay Google to put their information forward, so it gets filtered out. Shit, I could go to an Indian company right now to get 1 million views on this video if I wanted to. No, I keep my views in the tens to hundreds or tens, I'll just be honest. In the hundreds with our podcast, but our views on YouTube are in the tens because I want to do it right. I don't care about getting 1,000 views up because I actually care more about a real person hearing this and then telling someone about that tells someone, that tells someone, that tells someone. So I care less about the clout and more about the transfer of information and the looking up and looking into. Okay? I don't care about the clout. I don't care about how many people watch me. Look at this. I really don't care. Again, if I cared, I would go on to India and hire a company that all they do are views, comments, and likes. And you pay for that. I could do that, but I'm not going to. Because I don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm frugal, and I wouldn't want to pay for that.
For me, this is just get it off my chest, because, like, I'm surrounded. Dude, in California, there's just not... There's Joe the Gardener, and that's pretty much it.
This is the thing.
I can, like,
California, they're indoctrinating children. I had to leave California to realize it's all bullshit there. Everything they say is bullshit. They're all lied. They're all some big facade. Look, I grew up in the California school system. I was told every day that everyone in the South is a hick, doesn't know English, are fucking Republican Confederate soldier wannabes, which this is all untrue. This is all untrue. They talk about how California is the most civilized state with the most advanced new infrastructure, which is untrue. It's all old. California is a dying state. It really is. And they talk themselves up, but they're not the leaders, the innovators that they used to be. They're full of bullshit. People are leaving California. There's a max exodus. So, yes, most Californians are indoctrinated. They're blinded. And then they get this fake sense of woke because they do some fucking drugs and they think that they know what's up. They don't know shit. And I give credit to people that want to be awakened and just become woke. I'll give you credit. Because being awake and being woke are two different things. Being awake is the final stage. Being woke is a step. And being woke, people think they're awake. When they're woke, they're like, I'm woke, man. I know what the world's about. No, you don't. Not yet. And then it's like, I've been around the world. Where have you been? I went to Paris. I went to Berlin for Beer Fest. It was really great. Damn. That's your world experience?
I mean, you talk to these fucking flight attendants, it's the same shit. Like, you've gone everywhere and you still don't appreciate shit. It blows my mind.
You have to live there. You have to live there.
Yeah, 1 day visit doesn't count. I'm sorry.
Just because you go on Tinder and sleep with some random guy or girl, or both, just because you're there for the night, doesn't mean anything. Look, I've lived in Texas. Waco, I don't care where you know where I live. Come get it. Come and get it! Okay? This is a free country, son. I encounter black people every day, and I haven't heard Black Lives Matter once. Why? Because they know Black Lives Matter, but they don't follow the organization. We have fun, meaningful conversations. We joke around. We all talk shit. I talk talk shit on a daily basis to every race here. They all laugh. They think it's funny.
But some people get sad out here.
People don't get sad out here. People
laugh.
Yeah,
I know. Like, I'll talk shit and, like, people are just like, oh, you're like that? I'm like, I'm just fucking with you, bro. Dude, I'm easing the tension.
The cashier today at the HEB was like, call me baby. I love when older black lady calls me baby, man. It feels warm and fuzzy on the inside. I hate when old white women call me honey. Ugh. But if you're an old black lady, you call me baby, that's different. I don't know why that's different. Now, look. Our government has committed treason against one another and the people. It's a fact. They keep doing it. Just off of Senator Paul, right? Trying to get our troops not only out of Afghanistan, but giving them all a bonus and or compensation check for, like, hey, sorry that we kind of gave you PTSD and ruined your life and killed a whole bunch of millions of brown people in the Middle East. And
apparently people are getting PTSD from the masked people out here.
No, Jesus Christ.
That's what I saw on Twitter.
I can't, like, you know what?
Yeah.
China, take it. I'm over it. I'm done. Take it. You can have California. I don't even go to the beach that much. I'll pay a tax to go to the beach. I'll fucking pay you in your yen, dog. I don't give a shit. So, look. You know, he's trying to get our soldiers back, right? So if you're arguing that there's Russians trying to kill our soldiers, right, which is unconfirmed intel that they're trying to look into, and guess what, New York Post, you're making it harder. When you leak to the world that we can't, and here's another thing, hold up. There's been 108 leaks of intel a year on average in the last 4 years now. That's more. That's about 8 to 9 times all of Obama's entire presidency. Right? Mm-hmm. That's a problem. That is treason and that is sedition, and they are trying to remove a sitting president. That's odd. I don't care if you like him or not. People are like, you don't like Obama? You're a racist. No, I love the black side of Obama. I just don't trust his white side. His grandfather was CIA. You know? What? Like, has nothing to do with his black side. Fuck it, man. Smoke a bowl together, my man. You know, if you want to do crack, that's the white side, I believe. That's just me, but that's whatever. That's whatever. So, look, okay. They are committing treason, and they don't care. Our government cannot function in a spy game war because, again, we are in every country spying on them, and every country is here spying on us. That's a fact. If our intelligence agency leaks to the news, that makes it public, kind of compromises, right? I don't know if you know this, but the ex-head of the DOJ even said you're not supposed to, and it's somewhat illegal, actually it is legal, sorry, to leak FISA information while you are actually wiretapping someone. You're not supposed to tell them publicly that you're fucking wiretapping them until they're done. That's the whole point. It's secret. It's covert. Do you not know what covert means? Do Navy SEALs run in there with searchlights? No. Right? No. Do they sirens? Do they run with an American flag screaming, America? Dun, 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 dun. No, they don't. They go in there with silencers, in the dark, they kill people, they get out.
Amen.
Because if you're covert or trying to do something secretively, you're not supposed to let everyone know. And now, you're making Russia think we're weaker, and they're laughing at us. Putin is laughing at us. And guess what? You actually gave him more power. And that's why I honestly think that by what we did with leaking this information, gave him a landslide victory, even though it is controlled in Russia, to be president until 2036. Thanks. that probably helped. Even if, it is controlled, even if there was any chance to stop it, that helped. Because they believe in Putin. Because Putin keeps winning.
Mm-hmm.
And these warmongering, Cold War era bastards that grew up, never got their Great War, and they want it. They want it. But, you know what I want? I want her to squeal. I want her to tell everyone who did everything wrong, and then the second we get names, arrest them and verify it and find out if it's true. Hook them up to Neuralink, make them find out if they're actually being honest or not, and find out the truth. But they need evidence, and we need to know where all that information is, and maybe the FBI does have it. Maybe the CIA has it. Maybe some organization has it, and I really hope so.
Mm-hmm.
But...
all right. Yeah.
People we need to demand answers. There are too many children in this world that go missing every single day.
800,000 people in the U.S. alone. Or kids alone.
Just the thoughts of adrenochrome being real, which it is.
It is.
Should make you interested enough to worry. Okay. Let me ask you something. If Black Lives Matter, why is there a slave trade in Africa? If Black Lives Matter, why is it most third world countries, especially African countries, children go missing more than any other place in the world? Ask yourself that. Is it just suburban and urban American Black lives that matter, or is it all Black Lives Matter? You have to ask yourself that. Again, I am all for the sentiment. I've said this over and over again. I have black friends. I have black lovers. I have no issue. But the organization isn't always for your back. Yesterday I tweeted to Project Lincoln. Do you know what I told them? I said having the name Project Lincoln is like China, or the equivalent to China, calling themselves the People Republic of China. Just because you have a good sounding name that you can hide behind doesn't mean you don't do nefarious things. How many times do we have these foundations and organizations that sound great that are helping the world or get in trouble for stealing money from their organization or their foundations or their relief funds? Just because it sounds nice doesn't mean it is, people. Just because it has a good name just because you believe or agree with the name doesn't mean you should agree with the tactics or end result or what their mission statement is, right? One more thing I have to say. I'm getting sick and tired of people saying, Cheney said, Dick Cheney says a real man wears a mask.
Waterboarding mask.
Yeah. All right.
What was that movie that we were watching? Like, he's an intense, we can't get inside his head or he won't tell us the truth because he was like a super denier or some shit like that. We gotta keep
Vice President
him.
Or whatever. So let me tell you, it was like Vice President, the movie Vice President. So
yeah.
Right. Wow. I have an equivalence to Dick Cheney. You're not gonna like it. So if y'all listen to Dick Cheney to wear a mask and you forget what he did to this country and this world, are you listening to Hitler for why you should drive a Volkswagen Beetle? Because he was the one who authorized that. He also created the Autobahn, which is like the first real highway system, or at least freeway. He also was an artist and a vegetarian. Are you a vegetarian because Hitler told you to? No, seriously, because that Dick Cheney was not a good person. We all know this. He was the real president of the United States as vice president. He controlled George Bush. He put us in wars. He killed tens of thousands of American soldiers and millions of Middle Easterns around the world.
His policies are still in today, though, to killing people.
Yeah. So don't listen to him about wearing a mask. If you want to wear a mask, wear a fucking mask. But if I see you post, Dick Cheney says a real man wears a mask.
Just shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah.
I don't mean
don't
that,
worry.
but like...
No, Dick Cheney will shoot you in the head for you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, that fool. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's like saying, like, oh man, like Stalin had like a really good public works program.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Wow. Cool. Good job. Great.
Nice.
So, hey guys, look, you know, I left this up there for this whole time because I want you to look into it. I want it grilled into your brain. You need it put into your brain. Okay, people? We need questions answered. We have a lot of questions. The truth community has been, wow, this year. It has been the year of 2020. Things are coming to light. The vision of 2020 and clarity is true. And that's the sad part. Because everyone's like, clarity is good, but not always. Because you realize behind the veil is darkness. Behind the veil is nefarious people. So we do have 2020 now. In 2020. And it's just showing that maybe not all your heroes were good. And maybe some of those people that you post about and you love and you watch their movies aren't good people. Look, Christian Bale's an asshole, but I like his movies. Tom Cruise is a weirdo, but I like his movies. Just because someone's an artist and you like their movies doesn't mean they're a good person. Just because they're a politician and you agree with a few things they say doesn't mean you agree with their personal life. Or vice versa. Just because you don't believe in their political ideals doesn't mean they don't have a good personal life. Right? So you gotta think about that sometimes. If you were to look at a picture, which they made us do one time in history class, and it had up the personal lives of all the major leaders of the world during World War II. And did you know the Allies had the worst personal lives? And the Axis of evil, or the Axis powers, had the better personal lives? That's weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, we gotta ask ourselves, what affects us to the most? What is the real problem? And let's not really be pointing fingers just as much as we are. Let's ask the real questions and let's get down to the bottom of it, and let's let certain people do their jobs, and if they don't do their jobs, replace them and make someone do their jobs. And don't have social amnesia. Stop forgetting what the problem is. George, any final thoughts?
Keep following up. I tend to feel more crazy shit's going to be happening. You know.
George, can you OD on coronavirus? Like, if someone were to, like, inject you with, like, lots of it, can you OD on it?
Ghislaine might be the first one to do it.
Those puncture wounds? Don't worry about those puncture wounds. Yeah, so let's be on the record now. She did not kill herself.
We love our life, and I don't want to kill myself, also.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to kill myself. I'm perfectly healthy. I work out every day. I'm getting ultimate power. So, I'm good. Also, Beto, and Biden, please don't try to take our guns. It's not going to work out for you. It's going to be real bad. The Second Amendment's there for a reason, because people like you and the people, and honestly, the dumb drones that follow you that would do violence. But, whatever. So, look, guys, follow this case. Maxwell to the max. Ghislaine Maxwell. I want you to go to bed sleep talking about that. I want you to look on your phone, look on your computers. I want you to look into it. And I want you to ask questions. And I want you to write letters, or at least tweet the shit out of, because honestly, writing a letter is hard for most people nowadays. It's like, where do I put the header again? Okay, fuck it. I'm going to tweet them. It's easier. It's quicker. Tweet the FBI. Tweet the DOJ, William Barr, Donald Trump Jr., Maxine Waters, fucking Nancy Pelosi, CNN, even if they are or against the person, if they're on Lowly Express, tell them we're coming for them. Tell the people that they're gone, their time is up, and the new king is gonna get crowned, and Prince Andrew is no longer a prince, and the world is shifting into a new world, a new time, and a new age of enlightenment. We all hope. Or it's going to be the end of the world because the elites don't want to give up their power.
Mm-hmm.
Stay safe out there, guys. Keep asking those questions and tweet, just like Michael Jackson said. Keep your eyes open, all three of them.